Hi guys, so here we're still dealing with dividing and simplifying, assuming that all variables represent non-negative real numbers, okay? So here we're going to divide these expressions here. So the first one we have cube root or third root of 5x to the 8th power divided by third root of 27y to the 3rd power, all right? So the first thing that people would think about probably will be to, because they have the same radical, just to take both top and bottom expressions and then put them under one radical. It's not a bad idea. However, it's not going to help you out in this case, even though many people will think like that, because you're going to have to simplify 5 and 27 and 8 x 8 y to the 3rd power, which is impossible in this case. All right? So the best thing to do is just go ahead and then work it out top and bottom separately and then see if there's anything to simplify at the end. Let's go. So we have cube root of 5x to the 8th power. So can we break down 5 into two numbers where one is going to be a perfect square, perfect cube, and then the other one not a perfect cube? What are the perfect cubes that we know? We know 1 is a perfect cube. We know 8 is a perfect cube and all of that. So already 5 is too small, for 8, so definitely that means that the 5 is going to stay right there under the radical. Now, when it comes to x to the 8th power, how do we deal with it? Guys, remember, we have nth root of x to m power equals to x power m over n. So the power goes here and the index goes at the bottom of the fraction. So that's basically the same thing that we do here. But instead of us going through that, we have an easier way. So the tip is, how many times 3 goes into 8? Twice, correct? So that would be, so I'm going to go easy for now. So I bring down the 5. So I have x. So it goes into it twice, and then the remainder will give you 2, okay? So it's like you have, so it's x power 6, correct? Times x to the 2nd power. Everybody with me? Okay? So because 3 goes into 6 twice, evenly, and then there's a 2 as a remainder left. If you multiply x6 and x2, that'll give you x8, which is back to that, okay? And then this one is over. What about 27 at the bottom? Is that a perfect cube? Is that a number that will multiply itself 3 times to give you 27? Yes, it's 3. 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 3 is 27. All right, so this one is a perfect cube. What about y to the 3rd? Y cube? Yes, because 3 can go into 3 evenly. So the bottom one is easier. So that means cube root of 27 is 3, because 3 by 3 by 3 gives us 27. And then when it comes to this one, the 3 and the 3 cross out with the radical, of course, and then only y left. So let's go to the next line and then work this one out now after breaking down the variable into 2 variables. 1 is a perfect cube. This is the one which is the perfect cube. All right? Why? Because 3 can go into 6 evenly. That's it. And how many times? Twice. So we have 2 is going to come out. So anything that is a perfect cube will come out. Anything that is not a perfect cube will stay under the radical. All right? So let's go at it. So we have cube root here. So this is 5. And then what do we have now? So we said this one is 2, right? Nope. This one's supposed to be x2. Careful. All right? And then the other x2 stays under the radical, not 2. Be careful. All right? So that's x2 cube root of 5x to the 2nd power. So 3y. And then we keep moving. All right? So this is our final answer when it comes to this problem here. Now let's go to the second one. So we have cube root of 9, y to the 10th, over cube root of 64, x to the power 6. So the same temptation will come, which is, should I put, the top and the bottom under one radical because they have the same radical? Okay? But in this case also, no, because you will not be able to simplify to help you to get to anywhere. So the best thing to do also is to work across top and the bottom separately. So that means what? Cube root of 9. Is there any number that will multiply itself 3 times to give you 9? No. But But the common mistake that people make is once they see 9 here, and then we see 3 here, we automatically assume that 9 is a perfect cube. No, 9 is a perfect square, not a perfect cube. Careful, because 3 by 3 is 9. So that's for the square, not for the cube, okay? So that means the 9 is also going to stay under because we cannot break it down into 2 numbers where one is going to be a perfect square, the other one is not going to be a perfect square. So the 9 will stay under the radical. Now what about y to the 10th power? Again, the same thing that we talked about when it comes to this, the same thing we're going to see. So, but we go again with the easiest way, about it. 3 goes into 10 how many times? Yeah. How many times? Twice, 3 times? So 3 times. So that would be, then if we break it down, so the 9 stays, so we have y9 times y. The remainder is 1. All right? You see what I meant by 3 goes into 10 how many times? Okay? So it goes 3 times because 3 by 3 is 9. Okay? And then the remainder is 1. So that will be divided by, so what's happening at the bottom here? Cube root of 64. Is there any number that will multiply itself 3 times? 1, 2, 3 times to give us 64. That will be 4. Because 4 by 4 by 4 will give us 64. Like I said before, some of these numbers will come over and over and over again. So you need to know them so that automatically once you see them, you don't need to think twice. You got to keep moving. All right? So let's go. What about x power 6? Yes, because 3 can go into 6 twice. Okay? So we go ahead. So this one will give us what? 4. And then x what? 2. Because 3 goes into 6 twice. Now let's work out the topic operation there. So we said the 9 is staying in. 3 goes into 9 3 times. So it's going to give us y3. Okay? And then cube roots. Then the 9 stays in there. Then the y stays in there over 4x to the 2nd power. You guys see what just happened? Okay? So 3 goes into 9 3 times. So you have y3 comes out. That's the perfect cube. Has to come out. And then now, because this one is not a perfect cube, stays under. Because 9 is not a perfect cube, also it stays under the radical. Now when it comes to the bottom one, we don't do anything because it stays the same. And then this is the final answer because you cannot add, you cannot subtract, you cannot simplify, divide, or anything like that, or multiply. So that would be your final answer also for these 2 questions. You go back, do them by yourself. Make sure that you get the steps, you understand what's happening, and then, ladies and gentlemen, you are good. All right?